You know why I don't wear a hat? Felon Trump is doing everything he can not to take responsibility for the tragic collision of the Black Hawk and American Airlines passenger plane over DC last night. And that's not saying that I think he's to blame for this, because I don't. But let me take it from the beginning of his disaster of a press conference.
We do not know what led to this crash, but we have some very strong opinions and ideas, and I think we'll probably state those opinions now. Because over the years I've watched as things like this happen and they say, well, we're always investigating, and then the investigation 3 years later they announce it. We think we have some pretty good ideas.
So our village idiot is not going to wait for the investigation because he has very strong opinions that are better than facts. Can you say narcissist?
I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary. You remember that.
It didn't take long for the Obama derangement syndrome to step in and help his deflection of the truth and responsibility. Let's see if Biden derangement syndrome comes into play.
And then when I left office and Biden took over, he changed them back to lower than ever before.
There it is. The felon's opinion is that Obama started it, the village idiot raised the standards, and Biden lowered them even lower. And to prove his point, Grandpa Dimension is going to bring out some curated newspaper clippings.
I do want to point out that various articles that appeared prior to my entering office, and here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities.
Take a guess where he's going to put the blame now. After saying it was Obama and Biden, now it's going to be women, our black brothers and sisters, gays, and if you're all three, you're even more to blame. And who is one of the most famous gays of all?
Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of bullshit.
The convict wants to play a little D&D with Pete, and I'm not talking about Dungeons and Dragons. It's because Pete finds men attractive that this accident occurred, plus Obama, and plus Biden.
The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine?
Joseph Goebbels would be proud of this. Just replace DEI with Jew, and you have 1930s Germany all over again. And then a conference with a felon wouldn't be a good conference without some diaper licking.
I note the president's leadership has been remarkable during this crisis.
And then the drunk womanizing Christian Pete Hegseth comes around from the end and backs up that people of color are worthless.
The era of DEI is gone at the Defense Department, and we need the best and brightest, whether it's in our air traffic control or whether it's in our generals.
I'm telling you, I remember all of this from, the first 4 years. It's like Groundhog Day. Except the rhetoric is a little bit different this time. I remember rhetoric like this, but it was difficult to understand because it was in German.